I'm really happy for women that women, what's happening in the world today, that they are courageous enough to come out and say that they were harassed or abused, and they can talk to us that way, and they can teach men, how to be more sensitive and how to be good people. We're all learning slowly how to behave better and correct our way of living. Sometimes, we think that it's just filtration, but it is not. Sometimes in the culture we are permitting behavior that is not really good for women, for example. It really doesn't matter what you have and what age you are. What you need to have with yourself is that feeling inside that you will be okay. So really doesn't matter. Like we talked before, that you can be happy and wherever you are. It really doesn't matter how much you have. Happiness is not really how much we have, because I know a lot of billionaires that they are miserable. When I have this billionaires and famous people coming to my place, they search for better life for themselves, right? They know that something is off. They know that something is not right, that something that they are missing, and they come to find out it, right? And then so they begin with the physical journey of climbing the mountain. When you climb this mountain, then you have to learn something. You cannot buy climbing a mountain. You can buy something like helicopter and fly to the top of the mountain and stay there, right? But then if you do that, then you don't get any benefit of learning any skills, right? And experiences that climbing the mountain really create. So if you want to be MD and you go to college and that you only want to be MD and that will make you happy, then you will be probably miserable for 10 years, and then you are a medical doctor after, right? And after that, you don't know how to be happy really, right? So you are this MD, and then you're still not happy because you thought that something will happen to you, but nothing is happening. So I tell people, hey, don't think about a year, half a year, 3 months or 2 months, It's just ridiculous. Nothing in life was ever created really good that could be in 3 months or half a year. It's just so short period of time that, it really doesn't matter really. What can you do in half a year, right? So start thinking 5 years, 10 years. If you think these terms, then you relax, and then you will be able to pursue, and you will be able to gain skills during this journey, and you will be able to enjoy it. That the slow progress will be ensured, and then you will be able actually to climb them with joy.
This episode is brought to you by Venture Mastery, a platform bringing you the best talent from the entrepreneurial world. The platform which connects successful entrepreneurs to other business owners aiming to achieve success. If you've ever wanted to get more leads, more customers, and more revenue, if you ever wondered what successful business owners do differently, what strategies do they follow, how do they apply and execute, if you ever wondered how other entrepreneurs manage to scale their businesses, then you're in the right place. Our mission is to become one of the best educational resources for entrepreneurs who have tried and failed continuously. Anyone can build a business, but only 1% can master it, grow, scale, and prosper. We help you get into that 1% with proven methods used by 7-figure entrepreneurs from all around the world. We will cover all aspects of running a business successfully from a practical standpoint, covering everything you need to know about money and finance, leadership, sales, marketing, wealth management, mindset, and how to get you motivated day by day. So if you'd like to find out more about our programs, keep up to date with our upcoming online courses and one-to-one interviews, please follow us on either Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or other social media platforms of your choice at Venture Mastery, or check us out online at www.venturemastery.co.
Okay, hi everyone. It's me, Phil, host of Venture Mastery podcast, video podcast. And as usual, I have a special guest for today as well, a Superman, I think so. He's over 60 years old, but he looks like someone in his 20s. So please welcome Mr. Jerzy Gregorek. How are you today? Hello, Jerzy.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here at all, right? And
Yeah.
where?
You are in California, as I understand.
Yeah, I'm near San Francisco.
Yeah. I studied quite a lot about your background, and it's phenomenal what you went through. And there are similarities with your life, with mine. Thinking of you were born in a communist regime just like me, and only we who experienced life like that can really understand what does it actually mean. Um, so you were a political immigrant or something like that from Poland to the US back in 1986, as I remember. Yeah.
Well, like you said, there's people that experience communism that they will never have it again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But, I'm really glad that I was in Poland a year ago, and I saw Poland, this amazing, growing, fast country, free. It's just amazing. I think it's one of the best places on the planet to be now in these Eastern European countries, because they are creating this kind of a socialism, but at the same, they care, and they also don't create communism. So it's just clear way of living that anyone would like to have on the planet. And I think it's happening right there in Eastern European countries. Because, countries that didn't have communism, it's really hard for them to imagine or to know how destructive and how dangerous that communism is or was.
Yeah. It destroys people's life. And maybe we were lucky that we were not in our older age at that time, so we reached to the point to feel and live a free life now. And freedom is a gift for us. And
It is that for people that came after 89, right, and they're building this country today. I guess they have it in the blood, that communism is not really a good thing. And they're building these free countries, and awareness of that, that ability to build your country without the communism is awesome. And I'm happy for Ukraine, and I'm happy for Estonia and Serbia, all these countries that freed themselves. Really happy what happens in Europe. And I'm sad that Russians yet didn't change that communistic way of living, and I'm really sad for these people still. I hope that they will change. And I hope that Chinese will change too, from that communism. Right?
Yes.
It will be hard for them, but I hope that one day it will not be there.
Yes. And probably this one made you even tougher, because as I understand, when you went to the US, first you went to Sweden for 1 year, as I remember. Then after Sweden, you went to the US, and you basically had nothing. And throughout the years, in 10, 15, and 20 years, you manage to build up something, to build up your reputation, to build up the happy body, your brand, together with your wife. Um, uh, Aniela, yes, if I'm not wrong, Aniela.
Daniela, yeah, like
Aniela.
Daniela.
And by the way, you were a world champion weightlift for several times, and you still hold a world record, as I understand. Can you tell us a little bit about this story of yours?
Well, I left Poland 85, and
85
actually I left Poland on Women's Day, the
on Women's Day.
International Women's Day.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for women that women, what's happening in the world today, that they are courageous enough to come out and say that they were harassed or abused, and they can talk to us that way, and they can teach men, how to be more sensitive and
Yeah.
how to be good people. We're all learning slowly how to behave better
Yeah.
and correct our way of living. Sometimes, we think that it's just filtration, but it is not. Sometimes in the culture, we are permitting behavior that is not really good for women, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And it's good that they speak and they talk about what happened to them, and the more we have them, the more we learn. So I'm happy about that. Talking about the Women's Day. Well, 85, I left, went to Sweden, Germany, and came to in New York. And in New York, we had this big luggage that we
What
have.
age did you have at that time?
I was 30, 31, 32. Well, uh, I would say that it really doesn't matter what you have and what age you are. Really, what you need to have with yourself is that feeling inside that you'll be okay. So really doesn't matter. Like we talked before, that you can be happy anywhere, wherever you are, right? But it really
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much you have. Happiness is not really how much we have, because I know a lot of billionaires that they are miserable.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I want to focus my topic for today. But
right.
you
So
yeah,
I came to New York and with a big one luggage, and we sent it toward Detroit, and in Detroit, where it was our destination, the luggage didn't arrive. So we just lost everything whatever we collected.
everything, and
And
it was your only baggage.
only like one luggage. We had only clothes and saved $1,000, and then that was it. And then we didn't know anyone, right? And then we had the sponsors in Detroit that after about 18 hours, we uh, didn't like what was happening there, and flew to LA. In LA, we were like 11 p.m. and there was somebody who wanted to help us, but she said that she was sick and she cannot come. So that was it. We were in LA. We had $600 now, and we don't know anyone. And it was pretty scary for Aniela, but for me, it was just another thing to fix. So I started calling around, and then found a Polish guy who came, and he was in the same situation before. He was like an immigrant, and he said, "I can take you somewhere, but I cannot take you to my place." There was another man on the plane that were coming, and he had his aunt in Los Feliz, and then we went up there. So we ended up there, sleeping on the floor for a couple of days, and of the one of the tenants over there, and we're looking for a place to live. That's how it was.
And you ended up to have clients to work for clients from Hollywood or Silicon Valley. So many people are using your system today, and I find this is impressive for someone who, from the outside, it would look like you have no chance for success. Still, in the worst circumstances, you manage to build up something really reputable.
Well, if you build anything, it goes with you, right?
Yeah,
So it's if you climb any mountain, and then uh, you gain benefits of climbing. So the metaphor for you know for that mountain can be anything. I was a fireman and learned a lot in the fire department. I was a weightlifter and learned that too. So and I studied mechanical engineering and fire protection engineering. That went with me too. So it's not like you not gaining anything or that you don't have anything that justifies everything because it doesn't really. So when I was in that situation in LA, I started really walking because I didn't have a car. So we walked with Vanilla for hours and hours. And from Los Feliz, we walked to Burbank and we found power source. And I talked to the owner there about my weightlifting. And he said, well, okay, we will give you a shot. You come here and find yourself. Because
yeah,
it was, 86, so 80, 87, I think January was. So Aram said, well, it's a personal trainer, somebody that helps others with whatever they want. But I said, so what should I do when I go there? Because he said, I will pay you $5 and just go and help people. I said, okay, but what should I do? I said, oh, you will find yourself. I said, okay.
okay.
So I went to the gym, right, the first day, and then I started talking to people here and there, and then new people that were coming to the gym, they were sent to trainers, and sometimes a person was sent to me. And then I really like helping people. So I really like to design a plan and a strategy for achieving that, climbing the mountain. And I like
Yeah,
to set up the targets and target of strength or flexibility. And I was more in details what needs to be done and how to achieve it. And people will really like it. People like uh, to do what I told them to do, and they were getting the benefits that were improving because of that. So I found myself very fast in that environment. Was very successful within probably half a year. I work 15, 16 hours a day, and um, started really um, gaining money, and I was successful. I feel good. We lived in this hut, really one room uh, hut, really like a house, but not house, but one room house.
yeah,
There were just this one room houses, and people gave us plates and spoons and forks
yeah,
and um, and then how we started, and we had these dinners in this little hut that people from Beverly Hills were coming to our place. Those were millionaires, and then they
yeah,
were coming to us, right? So, and we were very happy. So, happiness, like I said, right, is not really um, what you have and how much you have, but to be able to live this life with joy, with pleasure, appreciation, and that's what we had.
yeah,
And in spite of that, we didn't have almost anything, right?
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but as soon as we had this kind of roof, that was one hot roof, and plates and forks, we could cook food and enjoy our dinners with friends.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that you 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 are working still even today, and you work for millionaires or billionaires. And I want to focus a little bit our interview today on this topic, since my goal is to help other entrepreneurs, and especially young ones who plan to build their own businesses. And uh, everyone, even me and even you, and we will face tough situations in life. We will have stressful situations or days. Um, and there are many millionaires and billionaires who have all the money they will never manage to spend, but they are not happy. Their life is miserable. They are either overweight or stressful or have mental health issues and things like that. um, I assume that you experienced a lot. You met such people very often on a daily basis. Could you elaborate on 2 or 3 examples, or how do you approach someone facing issues like this? Your system, how it works, your program. Um, as I understand, you are using or focusing on micro progression, which is part of the plan you are using, the strategy.
Right. So I would start here. Well, first, let me say something about the happiness.
Yeah. Okay.
As people search for happiness and pursue happiness, but
Yeah.
like I don't see that you can really pursue it. It is a result of being certain way. Say, uh, I guess you can pursue virtues. You can pursue becoming a better human being,
Yeah.
and because of that, you can benefit from something what you becoming, and you are becoming, and that the side effect of that is happiness. What
Yeah.
I say.
Yeah.
So, uh, well, the of course, how to uh, pursue that. You have to really know what is good, what is not, and kind of have the sense of virtues, and not to be told what is good, what is not. But you have to have a feeling what is it, and you need definitely in life to pursue something that is really hard, and that's the beginning of the story. That I always had some kind of attraction or being in places where when it was really hard and hard to improve, how to get and hard to get better. So I understood that that's where the growth is, and that's where the progress also is, and that's where the place is. So when it was something easy for me, I ran away from it. So, so hard is a good thing. So like you learn.
Easy choices, hard life.
Yeah,
Hard
exactly.
choices, easy life, as you say.
Yeah, I
That
experienced
comes
that a
from
lot.
you.
Yeah, I experienced that a lot, and I
Yeah.
learned uh, how to how to comprehend that and how to understand that and how to create this in your own life. And I remember in Paris and Naval was Ravikant when he was here, and then he asked me what is success, and so I said, well, success is like when you have a dinner and there are 4 people at the dinner
Yeah.
that really have a good time, and everybody likes each other, right? And uh, and you spend, hours, and hours are passing very fast, and you enjoy the dinner, and it's already 6, 7 hours pass, and you just really laugh and have a good time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the hardest thing to find in life, really, because when you had that kind of a dinner with 2 other people, and the couple or 2 other people, and you laughed so much and had fun and so on, and 6 hours passed, and you still enjoy it, well, it's a really success when you put 4 people together that They are not jealous. They don't complain. They are not blaming each other. It's really not easy thing in life. So I said, when you find that, when you have those dinners, you are successful because
Yeah,
happiness is really available to anyone.
yeah,
So it really doesn't matter if you have a table and you have a dinner
yeah.
and you have friends that you really enjoy time to be with and have this really good time, right? So when you have it, then that's it. How many dinners you have? 10,000 or 20,000 those dinners, and you die. This is it. Right? This is
Yeah.
your life. And of course, you work a little bit, and it's over. So if
And
you have these dinners like that, hey, wow, congratulations. This is the awesome thing you found. You found your success.
even what we are doing now, this interview is the same. We are,
Yeah, well, I had a dinner with, we have this couple friends at Stanford, and we have a dinner with them, and then we go to their place and we drink vodka, different kinds, and eat and laugh and make jokes and laugh at each other and make jokes about
yeah,
each other, and it's just like really enjoy time. And we found these couples like about 3 4 couples like that. So we are very happy about that. That's where I see happiness is. So happiness is not something that you have things. It is something that it's in the joy of sharing with other people, close people, when you flow with others in the
yeah.
present moment, and there is no past, there is no future. It's just this joy, pure joy of
For
having
which
good time
we
together.
must be grateful for all these moments throughout our life.
Yes, and it's in a way you are in the present moment. When I have this billionaires and famous people coming to my place, they search for better life for themselves, right? They know that something is off. They know that something is not right. That something that they are missing, and they come to find out it, right? And then so they begin. They begin with the physical journey of climbing the mountain. When you climb this mountain, then uh, uh, you have to learn something. You
Yeah,
cannot buy climbing a mountain. You can buy something like helicopter and fly to the top of the mountain and stay there, right? But then if you do that, then you don't get any benefit of learning any
yeah,
skills, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
experiences that climbing the mountain really creates. So when we start climbing the physical mountain has challenges like and the targets like flexibility and strength and mobility. They're all obstacles, and those obstacles create the need for the mental strength that people have to gain certain learn or gain certain um, ways, like they have to learn the skill, they have to learn planning and strategies and patience and delay gratification, micro progression, and like they had to start learning how to train like a fireman to be ready for whatever disaster could come, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
you improve constantly yourself, and then they learn micro progression, and they learn appreciation. They learn this that life is about improvement, this micro improvement in life, and then how to really uh, climb this mountain with the different levels, and how to enjoy that climb is a key here issue, because you can climb to the top and be miserable that on the top, right? But you can climb. How you climb is important. You can climb with enjoying the process, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
enjoying the process is extremely important. So
yeah,
if you want to be MD and you go to college, and that you only want to be MD and that will make you happy, then you will be probably miserable for 10 years, and then You are a medical doctor after, right?
yeah, yeah,
And after that, you don't know how to be happy, really, right? So you are
yeah,
this MD, and then you're still not happy because you thought that something will happen to you, but nothing is
not,
happening.
yeah,
They send you to work, and you start working, right? And when you start working, really, it's not happening, right? So you are miserable again, and then you think about, oh well, if I have $10 million, right, and buy this house in Beverly Hills, I will be happy. So you work another 10 years, right? And then another 10 years pass and you bought this house,
yeah,
but you're still miserable because something magical doesn't happen.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then you pursue over this, you have a boat, yeah, and you have a big boat on the ocean, and helicopters are flying with your guests and so on. But still, it's magic is not happening. You're still not happy. So that happiness is internal feeling, and it's based on to be just a simple and good human being on that planet. And if you have grudges, if you have complaints, if you have blames, if you have expectations, you cannot be happy. You will not be happy. So there is a kind of a skill of virtues to have in life that actually can create that happiness in your life, and
yeah,
living in that present moment. That let's say I have a present moment with you now, right?
yeah, yeah,
And I enjoy that moment,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So if I said, well, I'm talking to you, but I'd rather to be on a boat. that it will make me miserable, right? Or I'd rather to have breakfast with my friends. That's not good either. So when I'm with you, I am with you. Like in any training, when you train, when you lift weights, you have to be with the bar. You have to be one-on-one with the bar. That's why we have a saying, it's about the ball, right? When golfers were saying, or baseball players, it is about the ball. Why is it about the ball? Why do we have the saying? Because at that moment, it is about the ball. So you eliminate that thinking inside with that you maybe not playing good enough, that what people will be talking about you and so on. This is that chapter that will make you miserable because you are thinking about this stuff. So to actually flow in life, it is to see the ball and play the ball, right? So when you can do that, when you can play the ball, you can find the joy in it. And when you find the joy in it, then you can find happiness. Or happiness will happen to you. It's not real. You will not find it. It just will happen to you.
yeah. It's impressive. It is similar to business life, that there are camps or stations throughout your business. It's never over. You will have many failures, then you will need to continue. What matters is your, as you mentioned, your mental health. If how powerful you are, that you will overcome many obstacles throughout your career, not only in business, in any part of our life. And I think that's important. And as you said, happiness is not about the money itself. Of course, money is important because with money you can buy things and so on, but only the money will not make you happy.
Well, the money, gives you more possibilities, open possibilities for you, right? And then and makes your life more comfortable. When you are on a plane, you have really first class, and you have business class, and you have the couch, right? So
Yeah,
then okay, well, you can go to first class and find miserable and happy people, and you will go to the couch and then you find miserable and happy people. So they are
yes,
everywhere, right? So that's just only the proof that the happiness is not really to be in the first class.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
there's
exactly.
something else about the
That's
happiness.
exactly. Because
And gratefully and thankfully it is that happiness it doesn't depend on the world, because if it doesn't, then that anyone can be happy, because then my saying here is that happiness is available to everyone. Yeah, you can really be happy, but that you have to somehow start thinking differently, and that thinking process has to be, and living differently. And then if you are willing to live that way of life, this having this plasticity of the mind, that and adapt and change to in life. Let's say about anger, right? So if you can drop that in life, you can stop being angry. Then it's a big step toward be a person that could be happy, right?
Yeah.
But if you live the life of a revenge, if you live the life of complain and blame, and then it's not going to happen within you. Just happiness will not be born there. So it needs to be born in a good place, because happiness is goodness, right? So it can be in a person that is a good person. You have to become a good person, and that is inconvenient, because a good person is something that is inconvenient for a lot. People want to bully others. People want to take advantage of others.
Yeah.
People want to complain, and they don't know that complaining is such a stealer of happiness. It makes you complaining, and takes your time from actually their happiness. You could be happy at that time, right? But you waste yourself on complaining. You could waste yourself on not forgiving yourself wrongdoing in the past. It's a lot of in the mental psychology that holds us to be miserable and doesn't let us to be happy.
Yeah. Can you have few words about the happy body plan you have what is that you are offering for people? How someone should imagine if planning to join your program or master class training, whatever?
So when I coach in people in Power Source, and then Gold Gem and War Gem, all those gems, and I learned that people physically are not really good. First of all, physically they suffer. They suffer pains. They suffer obesity. They suffer anorexia. They suffer immobility, weaknesses, and so on. Right. So I pursued that building the human being, and building youthfulness, as I describe in the book, The Happy Body. And then targeted, like mountains, create mountains, so different mountains to climb, but with full transparency. People have to know the numbers, and numbers are really good. Living by numbers is it's an awesome thing, because once you have numbers, the brain is greedy for numbers. So if the numbers are really good, like numbers of flexibility, numbers of strength, numbers of mobility, if those, or posture, good posture, what is it? And if you put this in numbers, then
to understand, your approach is practically a scientific approach, which is good.
Yes, completely. That's what creates transparency. So I understood that that we need numbers, and we need complete transparency of the mountain. So you have to see the mountain, right, to climb it. It's not like you want to climb the mountain is not there.
It's like you are at point A and you want to reach to point B. It's same in any field.
But to understand in the language is it would be like this: I want to lose weight, and that's not the mountain, that's not the goal, that's not numbers, right? So, but if you understand that you need to lose 27 pounds or 57 pounds, then it's a number. And when you have that number, then you have certain truth that you need to, let's say, lose weight, and how many pounds is that? And then you become responsible for it. You can design a plan to get there, and then you work with all frustrations that stop you from actually achieving this goal. But at least you have the truth behind. If you say such a thing as if you eat this diet, you will lose weight. That's not true, and it's wrong, because on any diet you can gain weight, and any diet you can lose weight.
Yeah.
So the truth about weight loss is only one. You need to less than you need, then you lose weight. That's it. No matter what food you eat, it really doesn't matter. You can eat French fries every day and lose weight, or eat chocolate every day and lose weight, right? Do you need anything else? Sugar, whatever, right? And you will lose weight. That's true. And if you hold on to that truth, then you have possibility of one day control it, one day learn it. But if you really don't have that truth, that you will have only promises and dreams behind, so you cannot really do anything about it. So building the mountain and numbers and transparency gives people possibility to see clear what they need to do in order to achieve certain goals, right? And in flexibility, let's say, touch the floor. If you are, let's say, 30 centimeters away from the floor and you want to touch the floor, all right, then you build the micro progression to actually lower yourself to that floor. And then that's the beginning of the engagement with the happy body. When you have this physical system built to help people to lose weight, gain muscle, lose muscle, and be mobile and be flexible and be having good posture, and you put everything in numbers, and that creates this physical challenge, right? That the physical challenge is presented, and these are the different mountains to climb. And then you design the plans and strategies how to plan it and how to climb it. And then when you have it in place, you engage. And then when you engage this, you are challenged mentally to follow it or not, to do it or not. And then you will have this fatalist in your brain talking to you that maybe you are too old, or you would be too skinny if you lose weight, right? It's not enough food to survive. And you will have all these dialogues in your mind between fatalist and the master. And you hold this dialogue on and then you start doing what is right and more often than what is wrong, and then you climb these mountains and something happens during this process, because you learn delay gratification, you learn micro progression, right? You learn to appreciate small increments, you learn progress, you learn patience. And all of it is happening to you when you climb these mountains. And all of it has to happen, otherwise you will not get there. So there are benefits of pursuing the physical challenges. So that physical challenges are there, so you have to create them. And then you need to climb. And then all of this in the happy body is created. Now the physical standards are there. So to more understand this, the physical standard is, we all social beings, and we learn how to appropriate ourselves around certain standards in life. And certain standards is like how to behave at the funeral, right? So there is let's say the funeral, and one person goes there and is very young and really didn't learn really much about how to behave, and thinks about something, start laughing like crazy, right? So other people will look certain way, and if that person is not really getting it, then somebody will take that person outside and talk to that person that is the funeral and so on, and teach that person, that is this, how is the behavior supposed to be there, right? And that person comes back and learn that. So then there is a certain appropriation, around the standard. So when you have a standard, let's say body weight standard in the happy body, right? If I know what is my body weight that is perfect and great and wonderful, yeah, that this is an awesome way of living. If I have that number, I can live that number, right? And that helps me to be a certain way. If I didn't know that number, I could be today 200 pounds or 250 pounds, right?
Yeah.
But I know it's 140, so I am 140, right? And then if I'm becoming 143, 145, then alarm, boom, 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 and I comes back to 140. So it is the guidelines in the happy body, how to live life, how to be the certain body weight that is really great for you, how much strength you need to build. And during this process of building, we are getting this, mental strength. And this mental strength and the goodness too, because you have to learn how to be kind to the body, how not to progress too fast and damage it, how to progress only in the enough way. The enough is just this powerful amount of whatever it is that helps us to evolve in life. And as soon as we do too much a little bit, we try to, outsmart the system and progress faster. We injure ourselves. So it's a lot of more up there than in climbing just a mountain, that just only physically climb that mountain. And a climber that is really climbing the mountain, it's really hard to climb like Mount Everest. You have to really, you cannot buy the climbing the mountain. You have to really, even if you have guides, you go on Mount Everest today, even it's a lot of easier than it used to be, right? But still, you have to walk that mountain. You have to really get up there. So you will gain the skill. You will gain the respect the mountain. You will gain all of it, and it will happen to you. And you cannot buy that. This is the experience that you are getting it. And then as you climb, that feelings can come to you, the feelings of respect, appreciations of others, saying thank you, or releasing the grudges that you could have to people. It's amazing thing that when the hard choices are happening in life.
And all this takes us to accountability, which should be on the person who is going through this journey. You are guiding and coaching them, but the accountability should be on them.
Right. Independence is really the big part of it. So I understood, when I coached people about 25, 30 years ago, that even if you coach people every day, they will still do something what is harmful for them. And
that's the learning phase. That's fine.
Yeah, you would need to be 24 hours a day with them, right, in order to do that. So the education toward independence has to happen. So I started really getting that idea about 30 years ago, and when I started building the happy body, that it has to be something that people do independently, and then they feel like they are doing it, and that nobody is doing for them, right? It's like you come and you have a personal trainer, and that personal trainer will train you, and then you are trained, and you think that you became that because of the trainer. So that's not a good thing. So the good thing is that you are there, but you are the guide, and then you are sometimes there, and that like athletes are and the coaches are there, but coaches cannot do too much. Still, athletes, they have to perform, and they have to claim it. Like you said, they have to own it. They have to have the total ownership of becoming that. And that is the idea of independence and freedom. And when I noticed that I can train people 7 days a week and they still they are not becoming independent. They are not feeling that whatever they gain because of themselves. So I drop it. I created the Happy Body and I said, okay, now I will teach you how to train, but you have to go to the gym and train by yourself. And you have to find the skills. You have to find the pleasure in it. You have to find the joy in it on your own. And then I do this now for 25 years. And then about 11, 12 years ago, we created the Happy Body book. So we wrote a book, but it took us about years to write that book, actually, to put
Can you
everything.
show us the book? Do you have a tent?
Oh, the book?
Do you have
I don't have it. Where is it? Hold on.
Ooh, yeah, super great.
Okay, so everything in this book is transparent, written in details, numbers, so you can follow all the numbers and you can create this better life on your own for yourself. You just have the book and that's it. And then when you have the book, you have all these mountains to climb, like I said, right? And then what only is missing now, it's you and 5 years, right? Or 10 years or life, right? Because you are living life and you are improving yourself throughout that life. And then during this process, you are gaining, you're becoming a better person by many means, right? Better person.
Yeah.
So you experience that. And then when you actually enjoy that, when you connect to that present moment of becoming, and then it gives you a possibility to enjoy the process, right?
Yeah.
So you are not really, you will enjoy when you get to the top of the mountain. Now, you enjoy very moment of it. You know, I trained this cerebral palsy boy that came to me, and it was like, he had only two sentences that he spoke: time to eat or time to bed. And that's how he was. He was 25 years old. And I started coaching him because the father thought about himself to come to me, but he was in Silicon Valley guy here from Korea, South Korea. And his son had cerebral palsy, and he thought maybe I can help him. So he brought his son, and the son was very weak, couldn't lift, 15 pounds bar off the rack even, and he was 25 years old. So very sluggish and very, very extremely weak. And then I started really some exercises with him. And then what really happened is that slowly, week by week, that boy was becoming a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger. And about half a year after, I asked the father, so is there anything new? And then father said, well, Tejen saw a car. I said, he saw a car. I said, oh yeah, because, he always sleeps in the car. He's not capable of having energy to actually be awakened in the car. He sleeps all the time because he doesn't have energy. And yesterday, when I drove, he said, oh, it's a car, right? He saw a car. And then his language got better too because of the, dialogues that we had, and then engagement we had. We started talking about, I asked him things, and his language and memory started really growing as a person. I like to create for them this celebration dinner. Whenever he broke the record, I said, well, it's time for a dinner. So we set up the dinner and we talk about this. And then after 5 years, the boy passed the exam to the community college. and got himself into college. It was amazing journey, you know, and it's a 5 years of micro progression, coming from, you know, inability to really say anything, to recite poems and write essays, and facing math, you know, and then it's just amazing thing when you actually you can do when you have 5 years. So I tell people, hey, don't think about a year, half a year, 3 months or 2 months, you know. It's just that's ridiculous. Nothing in life was ever created really good that could be in 3 months or half a year. It's just so short period of time that, you know, like it really doesn't matter really. What can you do in half a year, right? So start thinking 5 years, 10 years. If you think these terms, then you relax, and then you will be able to pursue, and you will be able to gain skills during this journey, and you will be able to enjoy it. That, you know, the slow progress will be ensured, and then you will be able actually to climb that with joy.
Yeah, and I think a huge part of this is perseverance as well.
Yes, well, that's the whole thing. That, you know,
Yeah,
if you climb something that is good, right, that you start really feeling the benefits of it, you are actually getting flexible. You are getting uh, stronger. But you see this micro progression. Yeah. So you have to learn this appreciation for it.
yeah,
So if you have appreciation, you will see small changes.
yeah,
And when you see small changes, those changes will make you happy, or make you, you know, you know, joyful, because they
yeah,
are there, right? It's like every record in weightlifting, you know, I really enjoy. I was just like ecstatic about, you know, like every kilo, every pound that I lift more. So if you are like that if you find that way to any climb, that you enjoy every little increments, every little progress, then, you know, you find really pleasure and joy in a climb. That's really amazing thing to do.
yeah. And the happiness and joy will be much bigger if you go it through on your own yourself rather than someone who is flying at the top with a helicopter, you know, for sure.
Yeah, well, why would you be proud of yourself, right?
Yeah,
You are proud of yourself, and that you have a helicopter and fly on the
yeah,
mountain, right? Okay, that's completely, you know,
yeah,
it depend. That depends only on how much money you have, and you buy it, right? You do. That's it, right? But if your happiness depends on who you are, right, internally, then you always have it, and it
yeah,
doesn't cost anything.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no money for it. Right? You cannot buy it. Yeah, the one that flies helicopter to the mountain doesn't necessarily have to be happy, right? So it
yeah,
can be visible there. But so that happiness, it depends really on how you are in life, how you walk, how old are you, and then how you appreciate the getting old, and how you are comfortable with it getting old is extremely important here. Because if you are old and you hate to be old, right, you will never
yeah,
be happy.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that's right. So, and there are, if you are, let's say, black and you hate that, you will not be happy, right? If you are white and you don't like it, you will not be happy either, right? So
yeah,
it's really something that what you are, right, in where you are, you have to somehow um, like it, and then like that way you are. And so the first element, this huge element of acceptance who you are at that moment in your life completely. And if you can do that, then you can you feel good about yourself, and then you live life. Then you know, every day you can have a plan, let's say, to improve yourself, right? and then you are improving yourself, and then you are getting better and better and better, right, in something. But nothing changes. You feel good still about yourself as you do that. So you without that you can really not be happy. You have to in the present moment. You have to be completely comfortable who you are. So let's say if you are short like I am, right, but you will hate to be short. That's it. To prevent you to be happy. It's done. It's over, right? It's just a lot of things that you can hate about yourself, and people will find a lot of things to hate. They don't have the right toes. They don't have the right eyes, and their hair. They are bald already, and or in pain, and it's just a lot of things that people will find. And there are hundreds and thousands of things that can make you miserable and unhappy. So since it is that way, well, how to be happy then, right? So you have to find a way to like yourself. You have to find yourself. You have to find that way that you really like who you are, where you are, completely. I mean, completely. And there is no way that you can be happy on this planet without that.
Yeah, I fully agree. Jerzy, thank you very much. It was a joy. It was a happy moment for me talking with you.
Well, that's awesome. Right?
We will have some other sessions with you, and it was really a joy for me. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that you accepted my invitation, and see you soon.
Oh, of course, thank you for having me. And then, hopefully people will find some guidelines in our talk, and it will help them to comprehend that their happiness, you cannot, find happiness. You cannot search for it. It is that the feeling that has to happen within any person. And that, if you that truth, you find that truth, that then you focus on what actually facilitate, what actually nurture that happiness within a person, and you can start working on it, and that is achievable. That pursuit of those virtues in life is possible.
Yes. Thank you, Jerzy, once again. And
thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Fantastic. We had a really good time.
Yeah. It was
that was our dinner, right?
I really hope that we can do some other time, another one about.
One day I will be in Hungary, and then we'll do it.
And who knows, if I'm going to California, I will drop in to you.
Oh yeah, well, come over. We'll have some vodka.
Yeah. Okay.
And pierogis.
Okay. Bye.
Pierogi. And Hungary, you have the good food there. We got. I remember that.
Yeah. If you come to Hungary, let me know, and we can meet here as well.
Of course.
Okay.
Bye, Bill.
This episode was brought to you by Venture Mastery, one of the leading educational platforms for entrepreneurs aiming to grow and scale their businesses. Thanks for tuning in with me, your host, Phil Amery. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we'll get you updated with our upcoming courses, one-to-one interviews, and latest entrepreneurial success stories from around the world. I'd be honored to hear your thoughts and feedback. So please leave your comments and help us in producing even more engaging and valuable content for our next episodes. Thanks for joining us.